Speaking of ice, though, I almost burned down my house trying to light sage for good vibes and protection. So my good vibes are literally a fire hazard, and therefore a deterrent of ice.
Uh, I would say yes, but also you live in Parma. So maybe it's just you're trying to burn the house down so you can sage all of Parma.
Yes, yes. I think it's really interesting what's going on in the world because I wonder about ICE's like choice as far as like the cities that they're hitting up. Still baffled about why they decided to go to the south side of Chicago as like one of their first big stops. I'm like, I understand the logic, but you thought that that was gonna go.
Yeah, but the immigration thing has been becoming more and more in the forefront because ICE is now starting to, and it's going to sound really fucked up, but it's because they're attacking white people, white American citizens, because this has been an issue for a long time. Obviously, being in a Hispanic church, being in the Hispanic community, I got all the ins. They sent a bunch of immigration lawyers over, but unfortunately, the immigration lawyers are not great at Spanish, so they asked for volunteer translators. And my dad, being one of the few Hispanics in our family formerly trained in Spanish, as well as already coming in as bilingual, he volunteered his time to be one of the translators, and he spent like entire Saturdays and a good chunk of Sundays after church just sitting with the lawyers. So yeah, it's been happening. It's just now it's getting a lot more fucking violent.
But I don't think I've ever asked you this. Do you speak fluent Spanish?
I speak semi-fluent Spanish.
Okay.
But I have been working a lot on my Spanish because I live in Tucson. Y'all, for those of you who are not in Tucson, pray for me and my community because we are right at the fucking border. Yeah, I've been working on my Spanish because I've been getting a lot more Hispanic, solely speaking Spanish clients.
Yeah.
So I've been actually speaking a lot more. I've been working on my Spanish. Actually, this week I'll be getting back into my Spanish lessons with my dad.
Nice. Okay. 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 You might have to teach me too, you know, so I can leave the country and whatnot.
Yeah. I will. I'll be happy to help you. I'm
Yeah.
hoping that they let Puerto Rico be an independent nation, and then I can just move there. Oh, okay, go ahead, deport me. I got all my family there. We good. Mountain Man, you coming? Like I don't give a fuck about your white ass. You coming?
One, two, three, four.
Welcome to Half-Ass Witchery and Aquarius season, guys, where even the Department of Homeland Security says to not trust the government, and where some of the people are getting more and more paranoid, and others are fleeing the country. Welcome to Aquarius season, guys, where the revolution is for all, even the government.
Yeah, anarchy. I'm in it. I am in it to win it. And again, anarchy does not equal chaos, folks. Anarchy just means nobody's fucking telling me how to take care of my neighbors.
Yeah, I saw that from a physical therapist and somebody that has worked with like dementia as well as like Alzheimer's patients. On TikTok, they were saying that based on some physical symptoms that he has shown, that he's got maybe like 2 to 4 months left on this green earth. And I'm like, don't threaten me with a good time.
No, don't threaten me, period. Fucking JD Vance is so much goddamn worse.
Yes, I do. I do agree with that, but also I want this senile. That's one white man
That's
in
true.
power. Also, JD Vance doesn't have the personality to continue to carry MAGA, but at least MAGA, I think,
MAGA's already falling apart.
Yeah.
So
I don't think that he doesn't have the charisma. Neither does Trump, but Trump is full of anger and unhingedness that he fits. But I'm like 2 to 4 months. Okay, cool. That big beautiful obituary. Let's do it. Don't threaten me with a good time. But yeah, that's where we're at. And even the head of Homeland Security was on the news the other day, and she was being interviewed, and she answered. She was like, "Well, you can't trust the government," because they were talking about Elon Musk and like data breaches and stuff like that. And the head of Homeland Security, and she was like, yeah, you can't trust the government. To which the interviewer was like, you are the government, though. And the home of Homeland Security was like, yes. And it was just awkward. We are living in times that are stranger than fiction. You cannot make this. I am ready to see what comes next on United States of America season 4 or
I
season
am
2.
too. Like I'm really ready for the season finale of this, but like I don't know if we're gonna get a contract renewal on that.
Yeah,
I'm really hoping for a spin-off series though.
Me too. Me too. Or even like a reboot with a lot of creative. How was your new? Oh my gosh, guys! This is our first. By the way, happy fucking New Year, people! How the hell are ya?
Yeah.
Did I sound like a white man? Did I sound like a white guy?
You did sound like a white guy.
Oh my god, but yeah, how are you? How was your New Year's? How was your holiday season? All that.
Super duper quiet, obviously. There was a little bit of an incident with the kid on Christmas Day that required me to go and, stop whatever the hell I was doing to make sure she was fine. So there was that, but I was able to make my protection lotions, and I am in the middle of doing some things that are really big. I'm not going to mention them here, but I may mention them in the next episode, so keep an ear out. New Year's, obviously, it was really quiet. We were in bed by 10:40. I am fucking 42 years old, and it shows. I texted everybody at 5 o'clock my time to be sent at midnight your time, so 10 o'clock my time. Happy New Year. I'm sleeping. Don't bother me.
I love that. Yeah. Scheduling stuff is the way to go. I'm trying to get more into my scheduling back as the new year. I do this every year. I'm trying to stick to it this time. And I say that every year.
I'm actually going to make a really wild recommendation because it's actually been helping me stay organized. Is buying the book Miracle Morning.
Is that a self-help book?
It is a self-help book.
I'm not getting it. I saw a video that I also agree with, where it was like, don't recommend any books to me that are like self-help, financial books. The world is on fire. I want smut and romance. I want to dissociate out of this world. I'm not trying to make myself better.
Okay. So let me make a recommendation. I got this for one of my smut friends for Christmas. Yeah, it is. It's. But for you, I am actually going to recommend. Have you heard of the writer Scarlett St. Clair?
Why does that sound familiar?
She did this series with Hades in the underworld.
Yes.
Do you know she has a vampire series out now?
Wait, hold on. Scarlett O'Hara?
No, Scarlett St. Clair.
Yes. She did the Touch of Darkness.
Yes. So she has a new vampire series, and it's called, the first one is called The King of Battle and Blood. Yeah, that's definitely for you. But anyways, most of that's getting cut out. But I do want to say, yes, my weekend's been great. What's been going on with you, Micah?
Good. I spent most of my holiday season trying not to rage bait evangelical white men.
How's that working out for you?
They will not be getting the same mercy from me next year.
I'm okay with that, but just be careful. Make sure you're in Canada by then.
Oh yeah, but performative evangelical white men, they were really pushing my buttons. One of them, I had the intrusive thought, but unlike them, I keep my inside thoughts inside. Unlike them, I had thoughts of running him over with my car as he was trying to help me back into a parking spot. And this is after I already told him I have a backup camera. I did want to tell him, do you want to be in the parking spot and I can just back in? Anyway, there was a little family drama. I started braiding hair. I am getting ready to create a virtual learning experience where you won't need to sit in a classroom with me to learn astrology and follow along at your own pace and just learn astrology via video. And it's just been a busy time. I'm getting ready to possibly have a medical procedure done. And yeah, other than that, it's been really chill. It was a busy holiday season, but I am not necessarily coming in with like renewal necessarily, but fuck it.
We got this.
All right, so we hope everybody had a great holiday. We're gonna hop right back into it with Witch or Bitch. I have one for this. Technically, this is more like just a bitchy rant, but it fits in with Aquarius season. Aquarius season is about independent friendship, community, anarchy, and now that I know, thanks to Vanessa, that anarchy is not just chaos, it is both anarchy and chaos for the sake of revolution and progressiveness. Hopefully a good progressiveness, because there is also bad progressiveness. Anyway, just so there is a comedian that some of you may or may not already be familiar with. That her name is Easy. I remember her because she was just very attractive. She's a light-skinned black comedian, like lesbian stud comedian. And I remember her because she was just very attractive. She had nice skin. And I don't remember whether or not she was necessarily funny. I remember that she wasn't not funny, but I don't know if that was just because she was attractive. It's been a long time since I've seen her, but when I knew of her, she was on YouTube. Around 2020, I think she started getting more traction back on TikTok and with the new kids, the younger generation. And so she is in some hot water now because she put on a fat suit. So this comedian, Easy, is in hot water because she put on a fat suit and made fun of this very popular plus size advocate and activist named Samira, who I will say Samira I don't dislike her, but I do think that I can understand how some people think she's annoying. But I'm like, since when have activists ever been technically pleasant? It's their job to not let anything slide. She advocates for plus size women, specifically in stores that say that they carry plus sizes, but they actually don't, or they push them to the back of the store, or they have a very limited selection, or they say they have plus sizes in store, but really when you go into the store, they only have plus sizes online. And so she calls them out for that. And recently, I think a lot of people don't like her because she called out Cardi B, because Cardi B made a comment about how, oh, y'all sold out my 3X and above t-shirts. Y'all some badasses or whatever. And people really didn't like that she called Cardi out for that. I get why people would be upset, but I also get what Myra is saying is that there could have been better wording. You did not. It does sound like you're downing your plus size fan.
Yeah.
But people are picking and choosing when they want to be mad at her because now Easy has come out with that suit and she made a whole video quoting quote for quote some of the things that Myra does say in her content. And she even went so far as to put on a wig that is very reminiscent of Samira's hair. So you know who she's talking about in this video, even though she's not naming it. And people are calling Easy weird for doing this. Rightfully so. This shit is weird. This is not comedy. This is not funny. This is bullying because it's very targeted.
I have to see the video, so yeah, I'm gonna just agree with you on that one then.
Yeah. Also, she herself used to be a big girl, which is crazy that unfortunately does still happen, where big girls or big people, because even men will do this, is that when they lose weight, then they'll act like just everybody else that they never were. Right. Which crazy work. I could never understand that. But this kind of bullying for the sake of content, doing it in a fat suit, which is so tired and just not funny, is insane. And so I blocked Easy a long time ago, but I have been looking out for what is her apology video going to look like? Because I'm sure she's going to come out with one. So many people are saying that it's not cool. She could have made fun or poked fun at any of the people that are being hateful towards things that she herself is. Like, she's black, she's gay, she's a woman. She could have made videos mocking people that are hateful towards those three things.
Yeah, and there's a whole ass list. She could have painted herself orange and done it.
Yes,
all
three. But instead, she decided to go so far as to think of this idea with this content creator who has never said a thing to her, never made a video about her, anything. She decided to do that instead. which is crazy because I'm like, we have Samira, who is, whether you like what she's doing or not, she is speaking up and being some sort of advocate or activist for a community, which is very much Aquarius coded.
Yeah.
And then you have the naysayer that is the other part of Aquarius, where it's, well, we should just blend in with everybody else because it's about community. It's being brave enough to speak out versus almost like that whole Leo Aquarius kind of like dichotomy that's happening between the two. And so, yeah, it's really interesting as we have Uranus that's going from Taurus to Gemini. The biggest thing that we have kind of gained while Uranus was in Taurus was body positivity and different ideas on what beauty standards look like, especially when it comes to physical things like the body, not just on makeup or fashion, but the body itself and how we're nurturing ourselves. That is the biggest thing that is coming. And that is one of the fastest things that I noticed when Uranus went into Taurus that started happening is people started looking at bodies differently and what is beautiful. Lizzo became a star when Uranus went into Taurus. For her not being a stick.
For her to just being good at what she does. And then like, and knowing how to work her body so well.
Yes. But her body was a big selling point of her branding. And so it's just really interesting to see as we go from Taurus, where we're talking about body positivity and what does beauty look like in that space, to Gemini, and it's kind of going in between the two. It's bringing up two different sides of communication between the two. And one is saying, okay, let's talk about this. Let's have a conversation. The other side of Gemini is just being a troll.
Yeah, we are.
And essentially getting into this very immature space where it's like I'm doing stuff for laughs, but I'm not being conscious about it at all. And so that is my witcher bitch. But really, it's not even a witcher bitch. It's just like this girl is being a bitch and I'm bitching about it.
And you a witch.
Yeah.
This witch got a bit. Ooh. We just replaced witcher bitch with now this witch got a bitch.
This witch. Yes. But yes, that is me on my soapbox, just kind of as an astrologer observing some of the stuff. Because I always tell my students and clients, but the best way to learn astrology is by observation. And that was just an observation I made, is that I think that's really interesting, the timing of it all. But also as a plus size person as well, I'm like, yeah, that's you took time to think about that, then you had to hire somebody to do that for you. That means you sat hours in the chair and you were like, yep, still gonna do this. And then you had to take your phone and lighting and then press.
Yeah,
and
you
said,
to plan this out. And then
you posted it. And then you posted it. All making fun of this girl that has not said one word to you. I don't understand it. Okay, getting off my soapbox now. Do you have anything to bitch? Which Vanessa?
So there's a lot of things I want to bitch about. Some things I can't bitch about right now. But there was a TikTok I saw this morning. Not TikTok, Instagram that I saw this morning. And I really need to stay the fuck off of Instagram. But it's a drug, and I know that, and I got to wean myself off. I got to figure out how to do this and still make money. So I want to talk about these motherfuckers that are going on Instagram and acting like they speak light language. Can you reach states of higher vibrations? Yes. But do you stay there all the time? No, because we fucking are here. The toxic positivity in the spiritual community, in the witch community, is too fucking much.
I don't understand that either. It's almost, I was talking about for the catch up, like the performative Christianity. If somebody does not deal with the issue that they have with religion, then the same habits will just be transferred into something else. And this is a primal example, because I'm like, that is performative, whatever you want to call it.
It's performative witchcraft. Let's fucking call it what it is. Performative witchcraft.
It's performative because you could keep that to yourself. You would keep your inside thoughts to yourself.
Unless you're me. Because my inside thoughts are hilarious.
You can keep your inside thoughts to yourself, or even only share it with a couple people. But again, just like Easy, you decided, you know what, I can do this. I'm going to get my phone, press record the video, and then post it. That is a lot of steps.
And let's also remember that there's editing portions of this too. So you're watching yourself how many fucking times making an asshole out of yourself, and you still do it. You still put it out there for the world to see. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yep, gonna do it.
The world needs to hear me talk like this. No, you need to be medicated, my dear.
Oh my God, I love that. I feel like it reminds me of Step Brothers. You need to be medicated. Oh my God. But yeah, that performative stuff, it's so weird. I'm not going to judge anybody young.
What you're doing is not only making the rest of us spiritual people look like fucking flaky bitches, you're putting out something out there to a lot of... Yeah, you're making us all look like basket cases, but also most importantly, and I've been reading up a lot about this because of certain family members I'm starting to see have a cluster B personality disorder that's very rarely talked about. There's one that's not often talked about that really should get more light, and that's histrionics. And the people who are diagnosed with histrionics are easily suggestible. And that's a problem. You are doing something very fucking dangerous when you have people who are on the internet, people like that on the internet, and you are causing serious harm to them and their families. Yeah. I'm going to get off your soapbox now.
Guys, so we're going to jump to what to expect for Aquarius season. The biggest news I honestly have is that we are in eclipse season. We have our first Aquarius eclipse. So I'm on astrogeek.com. We are on February 17th, days after Valentine's Day. I think this is particularly interesting for my own personal selfish reasons because this eclipse is on my Venus. Fuck. So this is a solar eclipse. It's going to be at 28 of Aquarius. So Aquarius is already about independence, revolution. It's about groups and the goals that you want to achieve and actually achieving those things. But Aquarius, when I always think about it, I think about it as an earthquake or just random events that seemingly don't have anything to do with each other, but somehow it all funnels in to the same meaning. That makes sense. But Aquarius is also supposed to be about progressiveness and what we imagine for the future coming true. So if you think about that, that can be both positive and negative, because that could mean that the past is what some people think of as the idealized future. So it depends. But on a personal level, yes, this is some sort of progressiveness, working towards a goal or achieving that goal, all those things. 28 is a Cancer degree, and so it's more about home, security, especially emotional security and stability. It's about protectiveness and loyalty towards family. So we've got a lot of themes of loyalty to friends and groups, as well as independence as well. What do you owe to yourself, but also who are the people that have supported you? We do have the solar eclipse and solar eclipses are usually new beginnings as well, and so it could be finding new communities that support you by breaking out of the box and comfort zone that you are in with current people that maybe aren't ready to progress with you into this new future that you're creating for yourself. And so it can be very enlightening as far as seeing who's going to be there with you for this new chapter in your life versus who's not. This can also be a new look at what is the future of some people's home situation going to be, or moving, or wanting to make some sort of change when it comes to what they want their future to look like. We do get a square that's happening with Uranus here in Taurus. And so this is about either sort of, this could be about reconsidering some sort of big change or having to make some big change randomly or quickly. It's not planned. With health and how they're taking care of their bodies, or more importantly, for a lot of people, about their money and security of home. How are they equipping their home to be fortified, literally, or how are they dealing with their own nervous system with all that is going on in outside environments as well. I would hope that this could lead to maybe some sort of trading of currency between neighborhoods. I would like that because Uranus is at 27, which is a Gemini degree, and so it has to do a lot with conversations, things back and forth, trading. And if we're talking about Taurus energy, that could be with resources. And so neighborhoods, I would love to see neighborhoods really banding together and local. Like, this is going to make it sound like I'm one of those people that wants to bring the past into the future, but I swear I'm not. So I'm saying this with somebody that wants better for this country, but just doesn't want to be in this country. This gives me the potential of some neighborhoods or people banding together almost instead of going to a grocery store and giving money to these big corporations, saying, hey, I have some sugar cane in the back of my house. I need a cup of sugar. Do you have a cup of sugar that I could borrow? Something like that that we used to do where we relied more on community to almost fight and boycott, because Uranus and Taurus is also boycotting with your money or making some revolution with money to fight essentially bigger corporations. And so I'd love to see that, but it could also be big changes in how money is handled by the powers that be, but also it could be just different banking systems, how people are treating physical money, how they're buying food or fluctuations in price with food. And resources, all those things. And so that's like the biggest thing that I'm looking at here. Also, this moon in Aquarius is ruled over by Saturn in Aries. So there's some sort of new beginning, some sort of new foundation is coming, especially since Saturn in Aries is at a 0, and that's the ruler of the solar eclipse. And so some sort of big bang, some big breakout is happening at this time. So it'll be interesting to see how that manifests. And that's really the biggest thing that is happening. Even the full moon in Leo that comes before this is going to have a lot of this kind of energy wrapped into it because it's an eclipse, and the full moon in Leo is just the full moon in Leo. I don't want to say it like it's not important, but this is the first eclipse that we have in Aquarius. That is a forecast because eclipses just take over everything.
So let's take some of that eclipse energy. I'm pulling a spell right out of my ass. And let's do some spell work with it.
Mm-hmm.
As Micah was talking, and I was listening to her, of course, because I need to know about this shit. Let's talk about harnessing the energy during eclipse season. Since this eclipse season is all about new beginnings, new journeys, new things, you got to consider it a lot like moving. You've been building up this moment to move. You've been gathering the things you need to make these moves, to make this money move. Now you take everything you've gathered and you figure out how to make it work in the next journey. This is Aquarius season, so it's an air sign, and airs love communications. So there are two ways you can do this. You can speak it. You can start speaking out to you can light a candle and speak it out to the universe, or you can write it all down and burn it with incense. The incense you choose is all dependent on the goal that you're trying to harness the eclipse for. So if it's financial, you're going to want things like bay, basil, and peppermint. If it's love, rose, jasmine, and passion flower. If it's a romantic love, if it's a more familial love, lavender or bergamot. If it's just generally career focused or health focused, you're going to want things like chamomile, lavender again, and ginger. And these are the things you want to use because you are taking everything you've culminated and you're burning the incense, and then you're speaking your intentions into the incense, or you're writing it down and burning the intentions in the incense with it. Because what you're trying to do is you're trying to get the world or the universe to take that energy during eclipse season and make it work for you. And then if you're the kind of person who's like, okay, I got to cast my circles, go ahead, cast your damn circles, whatever the fuck you need to do. Call the gods you need to call. I don't give a shit. If you are an atheo witch or you just don't really want to waste your time doing that, that is the work you need to do. That is the spell work that I just literally pulled out of my ass for y'all. Take with it what you will.
All right. So we do have a new little segment that I wanted to add onto here because being a third house sun, I do love a good SAT word. For the longest, my favorite word that I've learned from reading books has been indignant, but now I found a new word that I learned this word through reading smut. Technically, it's romantasy, slow burn romantasy, but we'll call it smut anyway because I can feel that when the smut comes, it's going to be good, which is the Woven Kingdom series, by the way. Check that out. Anyway, the word is mellifluous. It just feels great as your mouth is saying it, mellifluous. And it means to run smoothly. The definition, mellifluous means having a smooth, sweet, or pleasant sound, like honey flowing. Honey flowing is a very integral part of the definition. So you have to, that's what you have to think of. Mellifluous. This is how smutty books are making us all better by learning big words.
Since you're going to do smutty vocab of the day, let me teach people how to say smutty material or smut book or smut in Spanish.
I love it.
So there's a couple ways of saying it.
Mm-hmm.
There is, in Puerto Rico, it's porno, cochinada, which I've heard that one before. Cochinada means dirty thing or filthy. Material, bellaco. Bellaco is probably going to be my favorite word, and I'm going to use that a lot because it very specifically is sexy or lusty. And then also for smut movies, un película porky.
I kind of like that one.
That one's a fun one. But I love, and I'm going to start calling people bellaco or bellaca, which means lusty or sexy.
I think I'm starting this time. At least I've already started pulling.
Hey, well, you go pull. I got shuffling to do.
All right. So for Aries, we have the Ace of Swords for you for Aquarius season. So Aries, this doesn't surprise me. Aquarius season is a air sign, so it's a season that is very friendly with your energy. And so the main takeaway I get with this is that this is a lot of clarity, a lot of new information that you might be getting, a lot of new breakthroughs or new ideas and sparks of ideas and inspiration that maybe you're sharing with other people, especially networking, meeting new people, getting out there. Very social. That's what I'm getting for you, Aries, for Aquarius season.
Taurus, I know it's cold outside. I know you guys just want to hibernate in all your fluffies and just enjoy whatever new things you got for Christmas. However, I pulled the Hermit for y'all. So, El Ermitaño, we're going to talk about you guys needing to just kind of get out and socialize. It's good for your mental health. It's good because it shows that you are grateful to your friends for all the pretty, fluffy, wonderful, exotic things they got you for Christmas. And most importantly, it also lets you explore new fun things. Tauruses, I know you guys love the beautiful stuff. You love the nice things. You love a good food. Check out a new restaurant. Check out a new art exhibit. Check out a new little boutique. So, El Ermitaño in reverse.
Nice. Gemini. We got the Six of Swords for you. I don't know what's been going on, Gemini, but you are headed from the storm into calmer waters, and I love to see that for you. This is literally the card of transition. So when we see this card, you could be literally booking a flight so that you can just dissociate in peace, or it's metaphorical, and you are just choosing to envision paradise in your mind. But something tells me that this is not like physical travel. This is more you saying, watching with done with it, and we're going to move on. If other people are not moving on, then they can argue on their own, and I think that's more of a conscious choice on your part. It's like I'm done with this, so therefore this is done, and I'm moving on. I think so because Aquarius is also the ninth house of Gemini, and so it can very much be the ninth house is about expansion, and so it could be you throwing a bomb and then saying peace. A truth bomb and then saying peace out. And for some of you, this could be like moving on from a big chunk of a foundation that you've been going through in your life and moving forward. So it could be graduation. So yeah.
Cancer. So we are looking at el juicio or judgment. So with judgment, we are talking about like the final, like everything is kind of just being laid out before you. Everything is done. And now it's time for you to do that evaluation, Cancer. So you finally finished up. This is probably because you guys are like, we're hitting our 2026 years. For a lot of you, it's going to be examining basically you guys are going to spend all of Aquarius season doing a year in review. And you're going to find out what worked, what didn't, what do you want to take with you in 2026, and what do you want to leave behind. Go ahead, do the morning activities you guys are so fucking great at doing, and then move the fuck on. But you got judgment upright.
All right, Leo, for you for Aquarius season, I love this. You got the Queen of Cups, which I think is very interesting. I think this is more a person, especially since Aquarius is your seventh house. But this is also, I think, about approaching relationships with openness and compassion. So a little emotional maturity, Leo, if you will. I understand that you guys are leadership, but I think this can be mirroring energy as well. It could either be about you encountering a water sign and working with a water sign, but also what I think this could be is a message to you specifically about you embodying the Queen of Cups, being emotionally mature and emotionally stable when tempers possibly flare or when things are feeling a little less than shaky, finding the ability to not only take care of yourself in a situation, but also give grace to others because the Queen, unlike the King of Cups is a lot about stillness and finding groundedness in the midst of your emotions. But the Queen already kind of does that. She's more about nurturing things. And so it's about not overextending yourself when it comes to partnering with other people, but also being mindful that people are also going through shit. And so it is a bit of a balance when we're talking about boundaries, and it depends on the situation where essentially don't be rigid. Don't be a rigid bitch, okay? But I think also the beautiful part of this is that Leo, you're really good at encouraging other people to have confidence and creativity. And I think that's a big part of the Queen of Cups is that you are going to show up for people in that way, or that you're really needed to show up for people in that way to encourage them and to nurture that part of them as well. And so that is what I have for you, Leo.
Awesome. So, Virgo, we have Atlanta, Temperance. This is a lot about balancing fun. Let's add some fun into your life. Not a lot, just enough to call it balance. We all know the saying, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. Virgos seem to live the life, and it's time to just kind of chill out and back off and learn to balance your fun with your work. Temperance is also about patience and just trust in forces bigger than yourself. So for those Virgos who might be out there trying to come up with a plan of action for the 2026 year, take a break, take a breath, take a step, and let the answer come to you. So that is your card for Aquarius season, Virgo. Temperance.
Love it. Well, I don't personally love to see that, but I am wanting to love to see that card come up. Okay, Libra. Interesting card we have for you. We've got the Eight of Cups, which is interesting because Aquarius is your fifth house, where we see self-expression, we see romance, we see fun. Well, a lot of y'all are saying peace out for fun. Or you could just be walking out on relationships that aren't going anywhere, where you don't see a future. Aquarius can be a lot about the future that you're building. And in the fifth house, it's saying I value myself, because the fifth house can also be about authenticity and not just performing for the love of other people, doing stuff that actually is heart-centered for you and listening to that. So the Eight of Cups is about walking away from something that you've just outgrown, even if it is stable. And so the first way that this kind of comes out to me is that you're possibly walking away from a relationship that's a lot of fun and it might be consistent, but just isn't aligned for you. A person that you're dating could be a good person for you, but they're not your person. Distinction, and it's a lot, and that's a hard lesson for a lot of people to learn. But the fifth house can also be other things. It can also be things that have to do with like children. So children could be a bit more difficult to deal with at this time, and you're having to really pick your battle with your children. The fifth house can also be about new hobbies, and this can be about venturing outside of your comfort zone and going with a friend to a fencing class, a horseback riding. You could be like venturing out in that way and finding and essentially going to the unknown, so to speak. So that's what I have for you, Libra.
Okay, Scorpio, y'all have your hands out and people are willing to give. We got the Six of Coins. This is definitely talking about looking for that break, trying to get that break, and getting that break. So you guys are having a rough start to the year, but once Aquarius season hits, You're going to get a lot of relief from that, and it's going to actually come from an outside force. And it's going to be very surprising. So the oros, the coins, are usually about stability and safety. So that's actually where we want to look. If you're looking at your finances as your stability and safety, it's definitely going to be somebody going to give you a heads up and a recommendation for a promotion or a new job, or they're going to just straight up give you money. If it's about trying to find a new place to live, you are definitely going to have a friend or a relative let you know about this very sweet deal in this very sweet neighborhood, or they are going to be the person to offer you a soft landing spot for your new living situation. But either way, it's looking good for the start of Aquarius season for Scorpios in regards to their stabilities. We have the Six of Coins. Don't forget to write those thank you cards.
I wonder if Scorpio is getting money from Sagittarius, because Sagittarius, you got the King of Pentacles. So you got the money. You are investing into something, I feel like, because Aquarius is your third house, which can be the house where we see e-commerce, but it can also be about boundaries as far as you said what you said and you're standing on it. That is giving very much King of Pentacles, because yes, is the King of Pentacles about somebody that is financially very stable? Sure. That could be you, or it could be you hearing from somebody that wants to give you something, or you could just be that person that is doing the trading. I mean, I guess technically those could be the same thing, is that you get something, but somebody's giving something, or vice versa. I think with the third house also, this is like intuitive investment as well. Because the King of Pentacles, think of him, he's the sugar daddy of the tarot. And so this is a lot about investment when I look at the King of Pentacles. It's also finding groundedness if we're not talking about money. It's good health. And so it could be talking to or achieving certain goals that you've been taking little baby steps to. It is the culmination of sampling and then finally investing in something that you've been sampling up until now that you haven't fully committed to. I think this is the season where you decide, you make up your mind on things, whether it's saying, I said what I said, or I'm going to finally go ahead and take the jump and invest a big amount of money or make some sort of big purchase. And so that's what I have for you, Sagittarius.
Capricorn. Did you give all your money to Sagittarius? Because we got the Two of Pentacles in reverse. So either you got real generous and Sagittarius is, I'll take it. And Scorpio's like, so will I. You guys tried to do something different. You guys are trying to scramble to get your money back in Aquarius season. So a lot of you guys are going to be swinging back and forth between feast and famine in literal moments. It's feast one moment and then it's literal famine the next. You get a really great deal and then you have to have your appendix taken out and you forgot to renew your insurance, so you're paying out of pocket. Remember, it's only for the season, so don't start hitting your head and calling yourself stupid yet. Either way, you got the Two of Pentacles in reverse. Don't be letting Sagittarius talk you out of your dollars.
Aquarius, well, everybody's giving money to Sagittarius. It looks like you're holding on to yours. And you've already done the investment because you got the Seven of Pentacles. This is a lot about waiting. And I think this is not necessarily about pentacles when we're talking about money, but this is more about you're in the season of you. And so there's a lot of potential here. I'm waiting to see if the investments that you have made and all of the things that you have cleared out and you've weeded out of your life, and people that you've weeded out of your life potentially, if all of those big changes are going to pay off. You're waiting to see, was it all worth it, essentially. This could also be you just doing a lot of reviewing of changes that you want to make as well. But yeah, that is what I have for you, Aquarius, the Seven of Pentacles.
We have the Lovers in reverse. This is not the time to enter into relationships or partnerships for you during Aquarius season. And a lot of that is because the partnerships you enter into are far more emotional than they are logical. And normally that pays off because what you're listening to is actually your intuition. But no, it's not going to pay off. Don't listen to your heart. Your heart is fucking lying to you this time. I'm sure a lot of it has to do with the eclipse season, but a big portion of it is because of all the upheavals that are happening in the world today. already. So now is not the time to enter into any partnerships or contracts that are heart-centered. That's stupid. Listen to your head, and though it is your cards for the month.
We love to see it. Okay.
Yes.
All right, guys. Well, that is our episode for today. We will see you next time in Pisces season.
Micah, where can people find you, though?
They can find me on Instagram at E&I Astrology. Honestly, that's the only place I am right now, other than my YouTube. Both of them are honestly deserted, but like I said, I am creating a course that you can do. So, and that's E&I Tarot on YouTube. Where can I find you?
You can find me in a lot of different places, just not Twitter. So you can find me on YouTube at BELLA-BRUJA, and that's Bea Bruja. You can find me on Instagram at Bea Bruja, on Blue Sky at bluesky.beabruja, Facebook Bea Bruja, TikTok Bea Bruja, my website beabruja.com. So yes, I live on the internet. Book a class. You can also, yes, I also teach classes now on Broke Bitch Witchcraft. It's basically modern folk magic. It's a little bit of hodgepodge of everything I've ever learned, mushed together into a giant, beautiful slop. Definitely sign up for those classes. They're $25 unless you're doing lesson 1 or lesson 2 online. Those are free, and I do them every other Tuesday. Sign up for my classes, sign up for readings, book me for readings. I'd love that. And most important is if you're in the Tucson area. If you're in Ohio, you should really be booking Micah. But get a hold of me. I'm also on Gig Salad as well as Micah. We are both on Gig Salad, so you can find us both on Gig Salad as well. So that's where you can find us, book us, love us. So don't forget to book Micah on Gig Salad. She has rent to pay.
Yes.
I have a kid who just cost me a lot. So that would also be awesome if you guys can book me on Gig Salad.
Gig Salad, my Gig Salad name is Mystic Eden on Gig Salad, just so everybody knows.
It's just Bea Bruja. But that's where you can find us. Micah, do you want to floss us out?
Yeah. Thanks so much for joining us for another episode, guys. We really enjoyed having you and having you listen. But we will see you guys in Pisces season.